You need to study, and so do I.
Welcome back to Prep With Me, where we review the concepts and try our hand at practice questions in preparation for the SHRM-CP. As always, our guide for the study journey is the SHRM Body of Applied Skills and Knowledge, or BASK. In Lesson 14, we're going to finish the ethical practice competency with the sub-competency ethical agent. If personal integrity is about who you are, professional integrity is about how you act when faced with ethical issues at work or under pressure, ethical agent is about how HR shapes the ethical environment itself through systems, culture, access, transparency, and prevention. According to SHRM, an ethical agent cultivates the organization's ethical environment and ensures that policies and practices reflect ethical values. Ethical agents don't wait for violations, they design systems that reduce the likelihood of violations. The BASK includes 5 proficiency indicators for ethical agent. Let's go over them. 1. Empowers all employees to report unethical behaviors and conflicts of interest without fear of reprisal. Ethical agents ensure employees feel safe reporting concerns. This includes multiple reporting channels, anti-retaliation protections, clear communication about reporting options, and accountability for retaliation. Silence will always be a system failure, not just an employee failure. So, for the test, look for answers where HR strengthens reporting mechanisms, reinforces anti-retaliation protections, and encourages reporting without any pressure. Avoid answers that rely on open-door culture alone, shift responsibility to employees, or focus on discipline after the fact. Here's a question. Employees report reluctance to raise ethical concerns due to fear of retaliation. What should HR do? A. Remind employees of the code of conduct. B. Emphasize leadership's commitment to ethics. C. Review and strengthen reporting and anti-retaliation processes. Or D. Discipline managers involved in prior complaints. The answer is C. Review and strengthen reporting and anti-retaliation processes. SHRM wants system fixes, not just messaging or punishment alone. Think about the entire organization. Proficiency Indicator 2 takes steps to mitigate the influence of bias in HR and business decisions. Good intentions won't stop bias, but structures do. This includes structured decision-making, consistent criteria, training tied to process changes, and data-informed reviews. Bias mitigation is preventative, not corrective. SHRM treats bias as a predictable element of work environments, a natural element of human behavior, not just overt or malicious intent. Assume that smart, ethical people will still have biases. Bias can often show up under time pressure, ambiguity, and situations that rely on individual discernment rather than clearly outlined measures. Therefore, ethics requires guardrails, systems that limit unchecked discretion, requires evidence, applies consistent criteria, and creates visibility and accountability. For the test, choose answers where HR introduces structural safeguards, reviews decision processes, and uses objective criteria. Avoid any answer that would rely solely on awareness training, assumes good intentions will just solve bias, or addresses bias only after harm occurs. Question. HR identifies inconsistent promotion outcomes across departments. What best reflects ethical agency here? A. Requiring bias awareness training. B. Auditing promotion criteria and decision processes. C. Addressing concerns only when complaints arise. Or D. Allowing departments discretion to preserve autonomy. The answer is B. Auditing promotion criteria and decision processes. SHRM prefers answers where process-level corrections occur, not just surface-level training. Proficiency Indicator 3 maintains appropriate levels of transparency for HR programs, practices, and policies. Transparency builds trust and reduces ethical ambiguity. Transparency does not mean full disclosure of sensitive data. Rather, ethical agents ensure that policies are accessible to all employees, decision logic is explainable to the lowest level, changes are communicated clearly, and employees understand how the company's programs work. For the test, correct answers will show HR professionals communicating purpose and process, clarifying how decisions are made, and reducing ambiguity. Avoid any answers that confuse transparency with oversharing, limit information without any explanation, or rely on a need-to-know basis as a default without also explaining how a decision is made or why the information is limited. On the test, please be wary of need-to-know as the default posture. SHRM reads that as opacity disguised as confidentiality, which can undermine ethical culture. Be sure any need-to-know answers are accompanied by further explanation, otherwise that would be an incorrect answer. Question: employees express confusion about how disciplinary decisions are made. What should HR do? A. Share individual case outcomes. B. Limit access to disciplinary information. C. Reassure employees that decisions are fair. Or D. Clarify disciplinary processes and standards. The answer is D. Clarify disciplinary processes and standards. SHRM favors process transparency, not case disclosures. Proficiency Indicator 4 identifies, evaluates, and communicates to leadership potential ethical risks and conflicts of interest. Ethical agents don't wait for violations to occur, they identify and assess ethics risks early and ensure that leadership understands them. This includes identifying conflicts of interest, raising ethical concerns proactively, and advising leadership before any damage occurs. For the test, look for answers where HR flags potential risks, advises leadership early, and frames ethics as an organizational risk. Avoid any answer that would wait for proof of wrongdoing, assumes leadership will just notice on their own, or addresses ethics only after a harm has occurred. Question: HR becomes aware of a vendor relationship that may pose a conflict of interest. What should HR do? A. Monitor the situation quietly. B. Wait for evidence of misconduct. C. Communicate the potential risk to leadership. Or D. Terminate the vendor immediately. The answer is C. Communicate the potential risk to leadership. SHRM expects HR professionals to perform early risk identification, not wait and then react. Number 5. Ensures staff members have access to and understand the organization's ethical standards and policies. Ethical standards only matter if employees understand them. Ethical agents must ensure that policies are accessible, training on ethics is meaningful, expectations are reinforced, and that ethics is integrated as part of daily operations. For the test, choose answers where HR improves understanding and access, reinforces the standard continuously, and embeds ethics into onboarding and training. Avoid any answer that would rely on policy distribution alone, treats ethics as a one-time event, or assumes understanding without verification. Question: HR discovers employees are unaware of conflict of interest policies. What should HR do? A. Integrate ethics education into onboarding and cyclical training. B. Redistribute the policy annually. C. Discipline employees who violate the policy. Or D. Require employees to acknowledge receipt. The answer is A. Integrate the ethics education into onboarding and cyclical training. SHRM will prioritize here comprehension over just acknowledgement or distribution. Okay, great work so far. Let's get into the rapid review. 1. HR notices that reports to the ethics hotline have steadily declined over the past year, even though employee engagement survey results indicate ongoing concerns about fairness and favoritism. Leadership believes the decline reflects improved culture. But what should HR do next? A. Accept the decline as evidence that ethics issues have decreased. B. Remind employees of the hotline and the code of conduct. C. Evaluate whether reporting mechanisms feel safe and free from retaliation. Or D. Require managers to encourage employees to report concerns. The answer is C. Evaluate whether reporting mechanisms feel safe and free from retaliation. This question is about empowerment, not just awareness. Ethical agents do not assume silence equals trust. SHRM expects HR to evaluate whether employees feel psychologically safe reporting concerns without any negative consequences. In this question, answer A assumes outcomes without actual evidence. B focuses on communication, not the actual fear of reprisal. That's the issue. Or D, that one adds pressure without addressing safety or trust. 2. HR identifies significant variation in promoting outcomes across departments, despite similar performance ratings and tenure among the employees. No formal complaints have been filed. What action best reflects HR acting as an ethical agent? A. Provide unconscious bias training to all managers. B. Allow departments discretion to preserve operational flexibility. C. Wait to address the issue unless employees raise concerns. Or D. Review promotion criteria and approval processes for consistency. The answer is D. Review promotion criteria and approval processes for consistency. Ethical agents reduce bias by design, not intent. SHRM prefers structural safeguards that limit discretionary bias before any harm occurs. In this question, A would only address awareness but not decision mechanics. B increases bias risk through unchecked discretion. And C is reactive, and it abdicates ethical responsibility. 3. Employees express frustration about how remote work requests are approved, stating decisions feel inconsistent and unclear. Managers insist approvals are handled fairly. What should HR do? A. Share individual approval and denial decisions for transparency. B. Explain the criteria and decision-making process for approvals. C. Limit access to approval information to leadership only. Or D. Reassure employees that managers are applying the policy consistently. The answer is B. Explain the criteria and decision-making process used for approvals. This question tests process transparency. Ethical agents clarify how decisions are made so employees understand the system, even when individual results might differ. A is wrong because it violates confidentiality. C is wrong because it increases opacity and mistrust. And D, that asks employees to trust without actual understanding. 4. HR learns that a senior leader is advocating for a vendor owned by a close personal associate. No policy violations have occurred, and the vendor does meet all technical requirements. What should HR do? A. Take no action since no misconduct has occurred. B. Monitor the situation quietly to avoid unnecessary disruption. C. Communicate the potential conflict of interest to leadership. Or D. Disqualify the vendor immediately to prevent any future risk. The answer is C. Communicate the potential conflict of interest to leadership. Ethical agents surface potential risks, not just confirm violations. SHRM expects an HR professional to advise leadership early so risks can be managed before they escalate. The others are wrong because A. Ignores the foreseeable ethical risk, B. Withholds information leadership needs to make good decisions, and D. Overcorrects without any due process. 5. HR audits reveal that employees consistently sign annual ethics acknowledgments but frequently misunderstand conflict of interest requirements when asked to apply them in a real scenario. What should HR do? A. Integrate practical ethics education into onboarding and ongoing training. B. Require more frequent acknowledgement signatures. C. Discipline employees who violate the policy. Or D. Update the policy language to be more detailed. The answer is A. Integrate practical ethics education into onboarding and ongoing training. Ethical agents should focus on understanding, not just acknowledgement. SHRM prioritizes meaningful education that enables employees to apply the ethical standard, not just certify or check the block, right? The other answers are wrong because B reinforces the form over function, C punishes without correcting the root cause of understanding, and D improves wording but not necessarily the comprehension. Excellent work. Remember, ethical agent questions are not about reacting to misconduct. They're about whether HR is building systems that make ethical behavior easier, safer, and more consistent, way before something goes wrong. On the exam, choose answers that strengthen systems, reduce ambiguity, empower employees, and raise concerns about ethical risks early. If this lesson helped, like, subscribe. If you have any questions you want addressed, you can leave them in the comments. I'll see you in the next lesson, number 15. We'll do a full review of the ethical practice section with realistic questions, and then we'll be moving on to a new section in Lesson 16, Inclusion and Diversity.